Chaps.
We're here with guests this semester, this trimester, and
Yeah, buddy.
we have guests on. And
Yes, we do.
We have our good friend Ian Adams here.
Ian
and,
Adams in the basement.
Peter was tinkling while there was an ice pick scene.
Yeah.
That was
But
true.
the ice pick scene was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of that
There's
one.
so many scenes in that movie that are just iconic. So you
Yeah.
watch it again, or you're like, damn, that's a good scene.
Even at 1.26 speed, you still thought it was pretty decent.
I thought it was like almost better. You kind of like get. I'm sure you probably lose a bit of the drama, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
I felt initially like it was. I laughed a couple times because I could feel like things were going a little bit fast, but at the same time, I felt like, hey, we're getting through this thing. 2.5 hours, we're cutting it down.
The character Tommy
Yeah.
talks so much faster because he already talks fast.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you think I'm funny? What do you think I'm funny?"
Yeah. Yeah. What is his name? Is his name Vinny?
Tommy.
The main character?
No.
Henry?
No. The guy, Joe Pesci.
Tommy.
Joe Pesci is Tommy. Okay,
Tommy,
okay.
Jimmy, and Henry, and
Okay.
Polly.
Just
Ollie,
classic
okay.
Italian names.
Oh, yeah.
But
Italian mobster names.
But is it De Niro and Liotta's characters are half Italian?
yeah.
Correct? Both of them are.
Yeah.
So they were never going to be made men, if
Right.
you will.
Yeah. But Polly was made, and Tommy was going to be made. Close.
Yeah, what's funny,
Yes.
it took me a little bit to realize how big of a character Paulie was because they almost made Robert De Niro's character like better or cooler than Paulie initially. I kind of thought, oh, Robert De Niro, he's the made man. He's above everybody else. But it took a while for me to realize, oh, Henry's actually like always appealing to this other dude, Paulie guy. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Jimmy and Tommy were like the wild cards. I just watched that episode of Always Sunny
Yeah.
where I forget what they're doing, but they
Wild card.
make Charlie a wild card, and he cuts
Yeah.
the brakes. He's like, "Wild card, baby."
Yeah. He's like, wild card bitches.
Yeah.
And then he cuts the brakes.
But that's like what they are. They're just like the crazy people that just do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Which
do
is
their own
interesting because they're the main characters of this movie.
Yeah.
Right. But really what they're viewed as is kind of like the low lives of the actual mob.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
Okay.
I think. I mean, they're just not the Italian made. I
Yeah.
wonder where they sit. Like, I've done a lot of reading and watched Italian movies. I watched tons of documentaries and like read a bunch on the mob and the mafia.
Yeah.
So I know a lot about it in the sense of like, the 5 crime families and, you know, John Gotti was like the last real big one. And then all those, there's the underbosses and then the soldiers and the capos and all that shit. So I'm trying to, they don't ever say who they are, like what they're
Like
ranked,
what they're, yeah.
if they're ranked or anything.
Okay, if we took a modern day approach or took you back in a time machine towards like, mob days, if they looked at Ian Adams, they said, "Hey, we're gonna get you in. Where are you coming in at? Where are you finishing at?"
How Italian are you?
Like,
Oh man, I don't think I'm any Italian.
how are you? Even if you're not Italian,
Not looking
Yeah.
good.
what are you willing to do? Like, what rank are you thinking you're gonna either start at or end up at?
So that's the thing, right? So there's different roles you can play.
Yeah.
So that guy that they mentioned, Michael Franzese, his real name is Michael Franzese. He's still alive. He wrote a book that I read. It's like an autobiography. And his thing was he got into the mob to get his dad out of jail. And he never killed anybody, but he became a captain because he can make really good money. So he was like an earner. Like he knew how to like scam people and
Businessman.
he knew how to make money.
Yeah, a little hustler.
Right. So it's like I don't think I would be somebody who could kill somebody because there's
You don't
people that-
think?
I don't think so.
I
Maybe.
think I'd kill someone.
Maybe.
I don't know if I could do it like that. I could do it in self-defense. They were like, "Hey, Ian, I don't like your tattoo." And then Ian, you'd be like, "Fuck you." And then you'd shoot me. Like that. That's the kind of killing they do.
Right.
The escalation is really quick.
Really
Yeah.
high escalation rate there.
There's not a lot of Ken Sandy, going
There's
on. here.
no peacemaking. The peacemaking is done when you're dead, and you're dead
Yeah.
within
That's true.
minutes.
That's true.
Within minutes of a conflict, one party is dead.
Mm-hmm. So Ian, you think you're going to be like more kind of like a money man, like
I would hope
hustling,
so. Yeah.
getting some cash.
I feel like I'd be more into that.
Altruistic, but not really trying to
a
kill.
bookie.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Colin? What are you getting hired in at?
I'm
What do you
pretty
think you're
Irish.
finishing at? Okay. So a little bit more
So
unruly.
again, based on the rules of the mafia,
You'd be like a shark. You'd be like a shark.
Yeah.
Go
I'd
break-
be-
What's a shark?
Breaking knees to get money.
yeah, I would definitely wear a bowler's cap for
Okay.
sure.
Oh, dude,
I could rock a
You
bowler's
love a
cap,
bowler's
but again,
cap,
I could
100%.
rock a bowler's cap. So, but I would wear a bowler's cap, and I would just kind of probably chew some gum and eat food and be, for the most part, quiet. And then I would eat food. I could just see myself at the bar, just eating food, like a lot of beer nuts. And then I'm one of those guys. Like, I'll let the other guys kind of fight it out and shoot, and I'll just kind of be like, okay, like I'm gonna stay out of it. And then if they like, hey, yo, Colin, go do this for me. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, okay. And then I'll probably break someone's knees. I'll probably be lower level.
Yeah.
I'd be lower level, but I would know enough probably to leave really quickly, to just know how insanely volatile.
Like
things
get the
get.
money and run sort
Right,
of deal.
and-
Like I'm not around for a long time.
Correct.
I'm
And
here to
he-
get my money and get out.
And he said it at the end. He's like, that's the thing. Like when they show up to kill you, they all have been your friends for a long time, and they're all like showing up with smiles. So like I know, like I would have, I think, known that long enough to be like, I'm not gonna make friends with any of these fucking people. Like I'm out of here, like as soon as I possibly can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you just never know when they're about to kill you. Like when then they told the wife to go, yeah, it's around the corner,
Yeah.
and I don't even know why. Why did they tell her to go around the corner?
It's kind of
Remember?
unclear. Well,
It was something about
yeah.
a dress, right? Like
Yeah,
the dress
But
is right
I think
around
it
there.
was to illustrate, because she's like, oh, Henry's getting paranoid. He's been doing too much drugs. Like, they're not going to try to kill him. And
Yeah.
then that happens to her. And she's like, oh, fuck. Okay, maybe.
He's not really paranoid.
Yeah,
He's onto
it's like, I
something.
think they're
So-
trying to kill
But
him.
they kind of leave
She
it
saw-
ambiguous. Like
She saw some dudes in some wife beaters, like moving some furniture around, right?
they look like it looked like one dude was playing like pinball in there. Honestly, like
Yeah.
you get a really dark clip, a little bit of dust and smoke,
Right.
And the dude is just he is hunting down the pinball.
Yeah.
High score,
Dude, to
you know,
be
and that to me, you know, I couldn't tell whether
Yeah.
or not she was going to get whacked or like she was
Yes.
just going in there to really totally check out
Exactly.
some dresses, maybe even play around on pinball.
Well,
who knows how quick she is with the fingers?
just
truly.
to interject a little bit is that if I was her and I looked in there and I saw a bunch of dudes sweaty with wife beaters on,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm getting a dress. Like I know I'm not getting a dress out of that place like that. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't think I'm gonna get a beautiful dress from these fucking sweaty, hairy.
Well, you
white
never judge a
dudes.
book by its cover.
I mean, in that situation, I would.
It's like going,
I'd
it's like,
get out of there.
It's like, you know how like some of the best Mexican food
Yeah.
is at the worst looking.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Definitely.
So you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ian's approach. I might have just wandered in and been
You
like,
would
hey,
have
what's up,
wandered
guys?
in there.
I've been
Hey.
like, is there a dress? Mm-hmm. No?
We playing
Okay.
pinball? Is
But
that
at
a
that point,
Frogger?
it's too late. Once you walk in, it's too late.
Well, it's too late unless somebody gets behind you, you know?
That's very
If
easy.
you walk
It's
in a little bit and there's nobody behind you, you can still kind
That's
of
a
do a little
tight-
digital dash and get in the car and
You
run
can
off,
digital dash
but
all you want. You got a tight ass corridor in there.
It is tight. It is tight. I'll give you
Yeah.
that. The chances of you escaping unscathed do go down, but I still feel like they're present.
Yeah.
It's not a 100% lock of death.
Right. I can't say that I understand the plight of a 1990 Jewish woman, but if I were her, just like, you know, and I looked and I would have left I would have done exactly what she would have done.
Yeah.
But I can't say like I understand her because I'm not her, but like I would have probably done exactly the same thing because I would have done it as a man. You know what I mean? I would have done it the way I am now. I would have left immediately. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like Ian, why did you choose this movie? Yeah.
I don't know. I think I scrolled AFI and was like, oh,
Yeah.
I like that one.
Does it have
It's
any
so low,
sense?
though.
Does it have? And you don't have to lie at all. But like, was there any sentimentality in this movie?
Sentimentality.
Like, do you remember when you first saw it or anything like that?
I probably first saw it on TV, actually.
Okay.
Really?
Like when cable was still a thing.
Like
It
6
is
months
it's
ago.
still a thing, but
Like TBS or like Turner
Yeah,
Classic?
AMC, dude.
Oh, AMC. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just love that whole lifestyle. It's so cool. Like the way he describes, like always wanted to be a gangster and like do that life. I'm like, man, that shit probably was pretty sweet.
What's the coolest aspect of the gangster life that you like?
Yeah.
Such a proper way to say such a cool question.
Dude, I mean, I got thoughts.
Since being introduced to
Oh,
gangster
for me,
lifestyle,
I mean-
what would be your favorite?
If I had to go, first off, like I really do think I could climb the ranks. I think I'm personable
Yeah.
enough that like
Yeah.
I could get in there with like kind of the top mob bosses. You know, chum them up a little bit. You know, get them to trust me. Maybe do a couple of hits, a couple of jobs for them. But I feel like I could almost serve the role as like, you know, like mob boss counselor, right? Like they would start confiding in me. Next thing you know, they're like, "Hey, I really trust this guy. Like, let's anoint him. Let's get him into some sort of like connection club, whatever." I think I would get a lot of like my inroads in through befriending people, and then I would enjoy the shit out of just rolling up to a club, rolling up to a dinner, like a restaurant. We're like, "Hey, you know, we have no seats in the house tonight. You have to wait 6 months to get a place here." And me just be like, "Hey, you know, I know Tony." Like, "Oh, you know Tony? Well, let's get you the best place. Going to the back, getting some things off the menu, steak, all that sort of thing." So I feel like I like that aspect. Being
like,
cool, getting in,
yeah,
feeling
like,
like I'm part of the
To
crew.
the back,
Yeah.
to the kitchen, and get their own
That's
seat.
so appealing.
So
I
cool.
love
That
the
is
big
cool.
cigars. I love just like the guys bringing you drinks and things like that, being waited on. I mean, all that's really cool. But I think it would get probably pretty old after a while, you know, because everybody's lifestyle eventually leads to like their own sort of ruin.
Yeah.
No one like escapes that lifestyle unscathed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually not.
So
There was like a 30-minute ordeal of just him being scared of a helicopter.
Yeah,
that's
That
true.
may or may
He's
not have actually
paranoid,
been
yeah.
following.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like it
that's
probably
fair.
was, but like he was
Yeah.
also on coke.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
I just think it's funny that they dedicated like 30 or 20, probably 15, 20 minutes towards him being paranoid over a helicopter that may or may not have actually been following him. But I think that's what made it cool, is like it made it a very authentic story to me, because they're just like, this might be BS, and he's just freaked out. For a
That
lot
must
of
have
it.
been part of this, like the biography or that
Yeah.
he wrote. That was like really important to him. For like the audience, it's kind of like, huh, why are you including this? But for him, it must have meant like a lot. So
Yeah,
that's my guess.
yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. So what about you guys? What is your like appeal? You're in the mob. You get access to things. What's like the greatest appeal? You were saying that you resonate a little bit, like getting access, backroom sort of stuff.
yeah. I mean, that's just the respect probably. Nobody fucks with you.
Respect is cool.
Like you can't do like people can't do anything to you.
Yes.
Like that's awesome. I love when like they introduce Jimmy and he's just giving money to everybody.
Yeah.
Like just being capable of doing that.
That is really cool.
I think the downside though is like I'm sure like in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, it was pretty like chill in the sense of like they can get away with a lot. But I know that in the 80s is when it got really bad, and it was just like a life of paranoia. Because that was when like Rudy Giuliani was the district attorney of New York. And
Wow.
he was the one that
Started
basically
cracking down.
the racketeering thing. He like invented that.
Wow.
It's basically like a law that says like, you know this person. I might be butchering it, but I think it's you know this person, therefore you're associated, and that's how they were able to just like take down the entire mob.
Wow.
Because like you know this guy, who knows this guy, who knows this guy. But so I'm sure it was like a life of paranoia in the 80s.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But I'm sure like in the 50s, 60s when cops were just paid off, like
Yeah.
it was a life. You could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right. Because that movie ended in 1980.
Right.
So
That's on the crackdown really.
yeah,
80s and 90s.
that is yes. I think that was it seemed like it was the Wild West for a while. It's just like, hey, I don't like you, kill you, and then somehow the repercussions are incredibly minimal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I
So
thought,
true.
I just
So
like,
many
the amount of people
murders.
they killed, you don't see anybody. Like you see one scene of someone's wife of 27 years throwing a fit, and then there's still no consequences after like that 2-minute scene. And so I thought that was interesting. But like, yeah, like to go along, I think with Ian's point is right. Like you are seen as a provider. Like you're like, people go to you and they're like, you know, you got it. You got like all the money and stuff. And then did you say access? Like you had like access to a bunch
access,
yeah, like you had access to a lot of things.
They get access,
like so much access
to that.
So much access. But yeah, like so much.
You had
like
access.
So much access, club access. Like so
all
much
the club access,
all the club access
to clubs.
Right.
Yeah.
So is that what you meant by what you liked?
This is what I liked.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Which one of you guys had the access to access?
That's Colin.
We shot a movie.
It was not me.
So this is
We shot a movie.
Hey, you can say whatever you want.
We bought a zoo.
So we shot a movie called We Bought a Zoo at Access.
Okay.
All right, that's not true. All right,
Was that for the tank or what?
Oh man, that was done in a
Winter Soldier?
That was done in what was supposed to be Columbus's version of a movie studio, and they were supposed to make a Columbus movie studio
movie grill.
It's west of Columbus.
Okay.
And but nothing ever happened from it. But that was supposed to be like the first movie that was supposed to be in a Columbus movie studio, and I'm using air quotes right now. And so, but no. So we shot a movie at this club called Access, and to kind of go along with Ian's point of like having access at Access of club access.
Got him drunk, fought his demons.
So got him drunk, fought his demons. So Ray Liotta got drunk, fought his demons on coke, and so. But anyway, the point being, sorry, that's a funny thing from our first season that most people haven't listened to. So we. It
wasn't on Spotify, you know.
It wasn't on Spotify yet. So, but we. Okay, so me and Ian went to we got access at this club called Access, and how that happened was because I shot a movie there. I was just like, yeah, you know, I was a part of this movie, and they're like, oh really? Like, go on and get in. I'm like, sweet, sounds good, because we were gonna have to pay a fee, and then we went up to the bartender. Bartender was like, oh, you know, here's your drinks. I'm like, wait, maybe this could work again. So I'm like, you know that movie that was like filmed here like a few years ago, like I was like, doing stuff with it. It's like not a big deal. It's like, oh really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, drinks on the house, and I'm like, yeah, wow, that's sick. So it's really funny because the access thing is there's so much double meaning right now, but like the access thing is cool because like I resonate with that. I don't work on movies anymore, but I miss the treatment you can get if you are a part of that life. It's not mafia.
It's like, to make a long story short.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Access at Access.
Yeah,
that's it. What movie was it? Carol?
How to get a guy in.
How to lose a guy in 10 days.
It's
that John Travolta movie.
Oh my gosh, it is a John. How am I forgetting
it's
it?
It's not Rampage, is it?
Dude, I'm forgetting the movie name. I Am Wrath.
Oh, that's
called I Am Wrath.
Ah, gotcha.
Also, it's really funny. Oh. I got a check like from the production company. So the production company is called I Am Wrath LLC. So all your checks, when you're cashing them, it just says I Am Wrath on your check, and that's all you check. That. It's like so weird, like such a weird ass thing that you're doing, but. Anyway, but to go along with Ian's point, it's it's cool to just kind of like have all that like at your disposal and like get that treatment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think at the end, right, like at the end of the movie, he was like he's like I wait. Like I think he literally said I wait like everyone else.
Like a schnook.
Like a schnook. I wait like a schnook like everyone else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that is appealing. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
So that guy, Henry Hill. So it's based off a book, right? But that dude, Michael Franzese, still around. He's got tons of YouTube channels. He does that thing like, Vanity Fair, where it's like real prisoner reviews prison movies. So his is like a real mobster reviews mob movies. And he watched a clip of something that goes on in Goodfellas, and he was like, yeah, he's like, I knew Henry Hill, like he wasn't like, this is like majority not true. Like he didn't.
Oh, really?
Like he didn't run with these guys. Like he was just like a low life drug dealer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
Throwing him under the bus.
yeah, he was just but it was true. It was like, yeah. And apparently like there was that dude Michael Franzese talks about in one of his books when he went to prison, Henry Hill was there, and Henry Hill like freaked out because he thought that he was gonna whack him or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Because they mention his name in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Henry, what's his name?
They say Michael Franzese or something.
Oh, yeah. In the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like he's there.
But Michael Franzese, you can look it up. He's got there's tons of videos. You can look up the old news articles when he got arrested in the 80s. He was like making like millions and millions and millions of dollars.
So what? He served his time and now he's like a free citizen doing his own thing. Okay.
Yeah. So I think he served 10 years or something. But his story is pretty cool because he joined the mob only because his dad was in jail and he was trying to get him out. Yada yada yada. Goes to jail. He ends up meeting a woman who's a Christian, and then he ends up converting to Christianity.
Wow.
Gets out of the mob and becomes a Christian.
Wow.
And he's still alive, and he talks about how it's like there was like a period where he was like, I'm going to get whacked because I just quit the mob. But he's like, all the people that want me dead are either dead or in jail. So,
Dang.
yeah, it's a
He
pretty
hit that
crazy story.
Romans road and got
Exactly,
the freedom.
yeah.
He understands grace.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a real
I
thing.
love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a crazy story.
You know, one thing I'm curious of is how did you guys end up becoming kind of friends?
just kind of friends.
Like,
Such good friends.
I knew, because I mean, I obviously knew Colin before you. I knew you before you knew Colin. And,
Did you know Colin before you knew me?
of course, he's my neighbor.
Since we were 7 years old.
Oh, whoa.
I've known Colin a long time.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We grew up together.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And,
Yeah.
But then one time I found out, I was like, Colin's like, dude, me and Ian Adams are hanging, chilling, texting about investing. I'm like, what? When did this happen? How did you guys get tight?
Cryptocurrency before it was cool. Oh, yeah.
Well, you're not even in crypto, are you?
You know.
I dabble.
I dabble.
Well, you weren't dabbling like last month.
I was, like, months ago.
No, you're not.
In the
You're
last
hyping
year or
it
so.
up.
I'm not.
No,
I'm trying to hype it up to increase
truly,
my value
like
of my crypto.
Like 2 months ago, there was no crypto on the horizon
Promise.
for you. You're all ETFs.
Promise. I promise. But to answer
I mean,
your
you're keeping
original
it
question.
deep under the wig.
Yeah.
But okay, so
Yeah.
Ian, well, I could Ian can
remember.
answer and then I can. Well, we were roommates. Well, no. Well, we were housemates and then we were roommates. But I think we became closer friends after we were roommates.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Okay. Who was like more, wanting the friendship?
It's probably Colin.
Yeah.
I didn't need any more friends, but I could
Right.
tell that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely needed
I needed
somebody.
I
He
needed
was-
a friend badly.
He was hurting a bit.
He was hurting.
I was
Uh-huh.
I was
And-
I was scorched.
I put aside my comfort.
Okay, I got some buddies I'm hanging out with you. If you want
Yeah.
to tag along, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like when you bring your little brother to hang
Exactly.
out with your older friends. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, take him with you. You're like, all right, fine.
Yeah. So I would
that's
go
like
and
how I kind of felt.
I would
Okay.
show up and be like, "Hey guys," they're like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "It's Colin." So
Yeah.
that'd be pretty much how it was
Okay.
like.
Yeah.
So rooming together,
something like that.
roomies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hanging. What's one of your guys' highlight, friendship moments? Things you've done together, like memory that like you went somewhere, did something, whatever. That
Can
was
I-
very funny.
Can I answer first? I would say one of my favorites is when Ian was no longer. So when we were moving Ian out of the room, I saw his protein powder eaten up by mice and a bunch of mice in his protein powder.
And it was like a foot from my bed. It was fucked up.
That was top 10.
Oof. What flavor
Why
we
the fuck
going
did I have
here?
protein? Yeah.
You
Like
had
chocolate or like
you had
banana
a bag
bread?
of protein powder.
I was like getting I was getting protein from Vinny's brother. His little brother. He is literally my protein dealer.
That's amazing.
Like, no joke.
How?
This is some
Working at like
Goodfellas
GNC
protein.
or
No,
something?
he
or
just
what?
like somehow had the hookup. He was like always like, oh, I can get this much protein for really cheap. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me come over and get it. I go over there. He pulls out a scale. He pulls out a bag. I'm like, dude, you're drug dealing. You're literally drug dealing. And so I just had this fucking giant bag of protein sitting next to my bed for super long. And I guess, I went to move out and I pulled it out and there's all these like bite marks into it. So we're like, there's probably some jacked
And
mice
poop.
Yeah,
There's
dude.
mice poop everywhere.
How much harder to catch and kill?
We're trying to
Dude.
wonder why there's so much mice in our house, and we finally figured out that they've been eating Ian's protein bag. They've been eating more of Ian's protein powder than Ian was.
Yeah, it's true. I'm like, why? I don't know why we're just sitting there for so long.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think that
That's great.
the funny thing about rooming with Colin was, did you ever room with Colin? Yeah, we're back.
So,
I roomed with Colin once though. Couple of weeks.
Yeah,
We had one roommate and we had a good time.
that's cool.
We roomed together with another roommate and we had a good time.
How did you feel about his snoring?
Collins?
Yes,
Oh, terrible.
Colin
I'd wake up at like 3 a.m. and beat him with a pillow because he was snoring so
it's
loud.
painful because I don't know I'm doing it at all.
I know.
That's
I know.
what
It's
the
sucks.
worst.
Like
But
I have no
I have
control over it.
I have compassion
I
on
heard
your
I'm
sleep.
not that
I do.
bad. I heard I'm not that bad. I heard there's like worse out there.
Of course.
giving
There's
me a
always
bad
worse.
word,
Have
dude.
you heard that dude from I don't know where some Middle Eastern country? His snore is so popular on TikTok that it's own sound.
It's like it's
Dude,
like when you're sleeping in the same room,
Yeah,
hotel
it's-
room as your dad.
Oh,
it's like,
dude, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's almost like it's unparalleled. You know, it is beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's beautiful.
That's fucked up.
You're not even close to that. You're just like
Yeah.
mildly annoying. Like
That's
you wake up in the
fine.
night, like,
I'll deal
hey,
with
dude,
that.
come on.
I'll deal with that.
Yeah, not that bad.
Yeah,
Could be much worse.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think again, what we haven't said about the me and Ian rooming together thing is that we also had another roommate, and we had a thing where we would wake each other up in the middle of the night, even though we all had full-time jobs at that point, with whale noises on the Alexa, and that to me was the most fun part because even though like one or all of us would be upset, it was still really funny. or to this classic song, "Hey Julie" by
Yeah.
Fountains of Wayne.
Yeah,
So that was.
I do remember like 12:30 or 1 in the morning, our roommate would come in and just be like, Alexa, play Whale Sounds, Volume 10.
Yeah.
And you just hear,
It would be like 2 a.m.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's great,
It's like we
man.
literally all had to work. All of us had to work at like 8 in the morning.
Yeah. 7 a.m. for me, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
Who's counting?
tomato.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like some jackass stuff, like on a very, very toned down level.
Mm-hmm.
But like messing with each other in like the name of like love and friendship for just like having a good time.
Yes.
It's really, really cool. When you get people who can like appreciate that, that's very cool.
Yeah.
And then we'd like turn on the lights. Like we'd play Hey Julie and turn on the lights, and then just people would be upset. Like our other roommate would be upset, but we'd turn on the lights. They're like, turn the lights off, and we'd like say, hey, like max volume, and then like play the song, and then turn on the lights, and then like hit him with pillows or something. So like that was a lot of fun.
And then he wakes up for his corporate job. Like, he sits down at his
He had,
desk,
like, a
and his like desk mates are like, "Hey, so how was your Tuesday night?" It's like, I was woken up at 2 a.m. by whale noises, and like my roommates beat me with pillows. Like that is not something that like any other desk mate
it's hard
has
to relate.
in common.
He worked in the healthcare industry, so it's like imagine like I hope I didn't like
inadvertently like kill somebody.
Yeah, hope I
Wow.
didn't hurt his sleep in that manner.
Yeah, very dark, but
Yeah.
appreciated nonetheless.
Yeah. So that was a good time. And then we've gone. I think me and Ian went on what was it? Bourbon Trail right before he got engaged. I think.
No.
Was it after?
Oh,
It was
just
before.
me and you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, just you guys?
Yeah. And it was like
That's
6
cool.
hours, I think.
Yeah, it was a very short
Very,
day.
very
It was
short,
a day
quick.
trip, yeah. We hit
And then
3.
he got engaged, the next weekend or that
I
week?
think so, yeah.
Something like that.
December.
Damn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's meaningful.
Yeah, that was a good time.
The nice thing is Colin is like one of the only people that's always up for something like that.
I know.
It's like, hey, I'm going to go do this thing. You want to do it? He's like, yeah.
There aren't that many people who are just willing to like kind of drop whatever
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Colin, you do have like a free enough schedule in life that you can get up and go to Cleveland one day or
Yeah.
down to Kentucky.
Celebrate with a Jabberwocky
Oh, you can definitely
with a bowler cap on.
yeah, you can celebrate with the best of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Jabberwocky brings out the best of us.
I think I have about 300 hours of PTO, and even if I were to double my salary, I would be like, no, as long as I can have 300 hours of PTO, so I can just drop whatever and do whatever.
It's powerful, man.
Yeah,
How
I feel
many-
like time is more valuable than money at a certain point.
Yeah.
At a
That's
certain
fair.
point.
I agree.
Yeah.
What is
Like-
300 hours? How,
PTO.
is that a year? Over a year?
A year of
No,
PTO.
I don't know how to do math.
No. Each
I'm
week
not
is
a good
80
mather.
hours.
Each week is 80?
80 hours.
40 hours a
That's
week.
40.
Buddy.
Oh, yeah. What am I thinking? Sorry, I'm thinking a pay period. My bad.
Oh.
Okay, so if you're going, 40 hours a week, if you're 300, 40 divided by 300, you're looking at
2 months.
2.5.
yeah, you're looking at like shoot, man, that's almost like
You're
7
looking
weeks.
at like some real
That's
mafia
ridiculous.
hours.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little bit. It's either 7 or 8 weeks, maybe a little over 8 weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so I love that, and the fact that my hours are staggered,
Yeah.
meaning like I work sometimes like my set hours are 5.5 hours like in one day, 6 hours on another, and then 8 hours on one of the days. So as long as I allocate like my vacation time towards those smaller hour days, the amount of days I get off is insane. It's insane.
It's like, all right, well, how much are you guys making?
So, all
It's like, oh,
right.
you get nice PT. Okay. Well, what are you guys making?
So here's what I'm making. I don't know if it's like $2 billion. So $2 billion, $1.5 billion.
2 billion.
So that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm doing okay, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are you
I
guys
think so,
making?
yeah.
What do you guys make? You guys making something like around there? It's pretty cool.
I'm close to that, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
12
feel like we're all like getting close to $1.5 billion, so
Yeah.
we should be fine.
You're right.
Like 12 to 14 bucks an hour is pretty good for me
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can handle it.
right.
If you can handle it.
14 bucks an hour is a lot. It's so much money that I almost can't do my job.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, I'm making too much.
Yeah.
Drop me down to 12.
yeah.
Dang.
I'm between 12 and 14 if I can,
It's too much responsibility.
It is.
Expecting too much.
Well, it's almost greedy. If I go 14, it's too greedy.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
You're like, your
I'm like,
boss
I'm
is like,
robbing you guys, basically.
your boss is like, can we
Yeah.
give you 14? You're like, shut up. Stop doing that. Stop doing that to
Like,
me.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, if you, the amount of money that was exchanged in Goodfellas,
It's
it
a
was
lot.
60,000. Some
Yeah.
would say that's a lot.
Well, one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some would say it's a nice chunk of change.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the big heist? Do you remember?
Yeah. It was
How much was?
Is that where they like drop the balloons in front of the camera and the Asian guy like does a backflip in like the
Is that Ocean's 11?
It's like, oh shit, oh yeah, my bad.
You're good.
That's the other.
I was
two.
watching that on my phone when we were watching this.
It's like the same thing. Same thing.
It was like $1 million, right?
It's like
back then.
2.5 to 5 million.
2.5 million in the what 1970s, 75.
70s. So it's
That's a
probably
good,
a lot.
yeah.
More.
Jeez, yeah, that would be tough.
And they
That's
took it,
some
and they,
that's
like,
some walking around money.
They just like killed everybody that was involved.
Yeah. What the
They
hell,
had to.
man? I know.
They didn't want to get caught.
It was upsetting. It was upset because the thing is, I think there's part of the mafia that I liked is like, hey, close friends stick together, man. It's like that's pretty cool. But then they kill all the people that were close with them, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. So so that dude that I keep bringing up, Michael Franzese, he's got a book.
Yes.
It's called. I'm gonna fuck it up. I forget what it's something. There's blood in the title, of course. Anyways,
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
the blood of Clifford the Big.
Clifford's Big Blood Adventure.
Yeah, it's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Anyway, he brings up his big thing about becoming a Christian was that when he was reading the Bible and his
Romans Road.
No, it was how the apostles kept dying for their faith.
Yes.
And his only, his way of looking at that was like his religion was the mob.
Yeah.
And all those guys just sold out as soon as to save their own ass.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So like when the cops came knocking, the idea is like stay loyal and don't do anything against the family, but just like Henry Hill, he just sells them out to save his ass. And so that was his big thing about becoming a Christian. He was like, nobody would do that. Like nobody would just like die for this thing if they really didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. But like what you're saying about the mob, it's like, it seems cool, but at the end of the day, it's like people just saving their own ass.
It's very volatile.
Mm-hmm.
Like one day you're having fun time, you're with your homies, and then you say, "Hey, you think I'm funny?" And then like, "Oh my God, my close homie is about to kill me because I said I thought he was funny."
Yeah.
That's it, and then you can die like the next day.
Yeah.
But I think you brought up a really valid point about, like, if I was in the mafia and I'm watching all these people die from like persecution or something, and then they're not like what you said, they're not ratting their friends out or anything like that, but they're more so dying because they believe in what they're doing. Is very different than like how everybody in the mafia is like, ooh, I'm feeling scared, I'm ratting everyone out, and I'm making sure everybody else dies and not me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that part of the mob is not cool.
That part of the mob is not the best.
Have you seen Fear City on Netflix?
I don't think so.
It's a like 5-part documentary on the mob. I
I
recommend.
did not like the end of it.
Yeah.
Of what?
No, I didn't see it.
It's just his thing.
Oh,
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
just what he says.
Yeah. He doesn't like the
It's his catchphrase.
It's actually
catchphrase.
Wait, is that Kyle actually?
No, that's actually Portlandia.
Oh, it is Portlandia.
It's like, did you read that?
Like
It's like, did you read that? Yeah. Did you read that? Sure. Do you read this? Sure. Do you read this? Yeah. Do you read this? I did not like the end of it. It's that response.
Yeah, I did not like the end of it. Yeah.
But it's like some sort of Netflix show.
Yeah.
Fear City, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
so what is Fear
documentary.
City?
It's just a 5-part documentary on the mob.
But what mob? There's tons of mobs.
All of them. The 5 families.
What?
The McDonald's one?
The McDonald's, the Burger Kings.
The one that's like
the Wendy's,
the
the
McDonald's
Rallies.
Monopoly one
Yeah.
where it's like
No, it's not that
they
one.
hustled the boardwalk piece and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
That one.
No, I know what you mean. I actually know what you mean.
It's like, oh, I got Park Place. It's like, well, boardwalk is controlled by the mob, so like good luck getting it.
I see what you're talking about now, yeah.
And like, Donald and like, Ronald are hanging out and the Hamburglar are all
Hamburglar, yeah.
like messing with boardwalk,
Yeah.
throwing dice on Baltic Avenue,
It's tons of gunfire.
sea walking on the orange pieces,
Yeah.
getting out of jail free,
Wallace and Gromit.
all while the mob are like, living life,
Mm-hmm.
staying free.
Big
Exactly.
Bird is in there and he's like chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
I
bird.
remember that
He's
part.
swinging that neck. He's
Swinging that neck.
Like
he's
an
swinging
ostrich.
he's battling like a giraffe. would
Oh
battle.
yeah, you're right. Those are giraffes battling. Yeah, that's right.
Right. On that on the 5-piece documentary.
Yeah, one is on the mob. It's like 5-piece documentary on the mob. Like
Yeah.
season 1 is about like the McDonald's mob. Season 2 is like giraffes battling.
Yeah.
Season 3 is like the one about Henry and stuff.
Right.
Season 4 is about also kind of Henry's other life. And then
Right,
season
right,
5 is
right.
kind of also about Henry, but also about giraffes
Yeah.
battling.
Right.
Some sort of like crossover.
There's giraffes battling. There's jaguars battling.
Yeah, lots of
It
battling.
all has to do with the mafia
Oh,
in the animal
yeah.
kingdom.
I thought, one was actually like they just ripped one episode out of Planet Earth, the one where like the birds are in the jungle, like that one bird is jumping with like the big neck, trying to mate and stuff.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's like a whole episode.
Yeah.
It's like a really strange sort of thing on Netflix. Not a lot of people have that access, but if you do, you should check it out because it's
Right.
really cool.
You do have to pay a premium for that kind of access, but it's worth it
It's
ultimately
like, what,
because you don't get that
16 a month or something.
you don't get that content anywhere else.
You don't. You can use a VPN, but not. I mean, I don't use a VPN. I just pay a little bit more.
I live in a free country, as I think.
Yeah,
so I don't
me
need
too.
a VPN for that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What is the point of a VPN? I should know this.
I have a bunch of friends from China that use VPNs for Facebook and Instagram and things like that.
In China?
It just hides your IP address.
Yeah, it hides because you're not allowed to use Facebook and Instagram while you have like a VPN from China. Like you can be in trouble. So if you have a VPN, you can use like a fake VPN to have Facebook and have Instagram and connect in that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If your VPN is like a big signal, it's like, hey, I am Ian and I live here. It's like waving to like larger internet. Look at me. A VPN disguises that, and you can pick to be like, oh, I'm actually in, Vancouver, Canada, and then your internet service provider or other people who like look at your activity, like, oh, this is actually coming from Canada. So it's like it just distorts and hides and geographically places you where kind of you want to be.
Damn.
So you can access new things that you wouldn't naturally get if you're like in the United States and you can only get this in Australia. Or you're in Australia, you can only get this in the United States. You can use a VPN to access different things on the internet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
We are sponsored by NordVPN. Use the code Good Show Ole Chaps at checkout.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
One day we will be, and you could use that.
We're gonna be One day we're gonna be rolling in we're gonna be rolling in the hundreds of dollars a year.
Damn.
Dude.
That'd be crazy.
Buy our splitters that cost $6.
If I could make $12 off this podcast in all the effort, I would be happy. $12.
That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I think if you make any money,
I'd be
you're getting
thrilled.
paid to
A
hang
few
out.
bucks.
Yeah.
It's great.
Did Porch Sesh make any money?
No.
Why
Yeah.
not?
I don't know. We had, I remember we had a Twitter, and there was one guy that actually like tweeted at us when we stopped making them. It's like, damn, I'm gonna miss these. And
Dude,
he, like, quoted,
There's always like one person, and
Yeah.
it
It's
breaks
so
your
cool.
goddamn heart.
like, sorry.
Do you regret like ending porch sesh or no?
It would be cool to do it now with the time I have. I just couldn't do it when we were doing it.
You like the idea of being on a podcast or like podcasting yourself?
It is fun, yeah.
Who are like your top 2 dudes that you want to podcast with?
That I would do one with?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Like who do you get along with so well? It's like, man, we could easily podcast.
Or Colin's one.
Oh,
Colin and who? Slappy?
Probably Ben Berrigan.
wow, he would
He's
be
just so
good.
easy to talk to.
He would be good.
That's a good idea.
You know what I mean?
What about- how do you
That's
feel
what you need.
about
It's not necessarily like people you're really good friends with. Like I'm great friends with other people,
Yeah,
but the idea of like carrying a conversation for a long time
yeah.
is like what you need.
I'm gonna
really.
give you a bunch of initials, and I want to see if you think they would be good to podcast with.
initials. Okay,
DG,
could be good.
he could be good.
Yeah, for a couple. Yeah,
RR,
yeah, well, maybe be a little interesting.
okay.
That's it. That's all he's got.
I'll keep it there.
That's all they are.
Just gonna keep throwing initials out at you, hoping you'd guess it. All right.
I don't know RR. I know DG.
Yeah.
You know DG.
RR
Yeah.
was our roommate.
He was the roommate we're talking about.
Wait. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought his first name was like Brian.
He does kind of look like a Brian.
Like you described your roommate, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Brian.
But you knew who we were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember his first name. It was either Brian or maybe Skunk Face. That was it.
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a name.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So wait, is he Pomple Horse?
Who? Pomplemoose? Pomplehorse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slippery Jack was
Slapshot.
Slappy. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So we were trying to come up with pseudonyms for you and Slapshot.
What was mine?
Yeah,
Pomplehorse
Pomplehorse,
or
Pomplemoose,
Pomplemoose.
something like that.
I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It just fit. It
Yeah.
fit very
Because
very,
we were
very
trying to
nicely.
talk about how we were going to find a way to stay for free in California, in Los Angeles for a
that's
week.
right, that's right.
So we were talking about it on our podcast, and we were just like, okay, we're not going to say the real names. But now the cat's out of the bag. Ian Adams is Pomplehorse. He absolutely is. He's a Pomplemoose.
It'll be one of those things, like, in the same way that I'm watching It's Always Sunny from season 1
Yeah.
all the way up. People will watch or
Yes.
listen to this in the future. Like, oh, shit. Season
Yeah.
2, episode 1 revealed.
This is him.
He's a Pomplehorse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
This is
You
the
should
man.
just do that all the time.
Yeah.
I
we're
like
going to
it.
have DG on. We're
Yeah.
going to
It's like, here it is. This is who it was.
DG and RR, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, what would you rate this puppy? We're heading towards the end. We're at like 52 minutes in.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ian, you pick the movie, so you go first.
Out of 10, what do you give it?
Yeah.
So is 10 out of 10 the greatest movie I've ever seen?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I've ever
it
seen.
can't be better than this.
You can only have like five movies in your top 10. Like you only have like 5 movies that are getting 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 says you cannot pick a better movie than this, even if you tried.
Damn.
It's
I mean-
like I can't. This movie's so fucking great. Nothing else. Like everyone would like it. I'd recommend it.
I personally would probably give it a 9.
Yeah.
Personally.
Wow.
Because it's so iconic to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so why, though?
Because it's so iconic to me.
No, that's cool, but, like, why, though?
Right. So, what about you? I don't know, like
Like
a
Michael Marchese?
like
or
a 10
whatever
out
his
10
name is?
out Michael Marchese. No.
Wait, what's his name?
Marchese.
Wait, what is the guy's name?
I don't know what
Henry?
you're talking about.
Wait, what? No. What is the guy's name that you saw the YouTube videos?
Michael Franzese.
Yeah,
Michael Franzese.
Michael Franzese.
I'm just a fan of the whole mob world. But like a 10 out of 10 for me is like Fight Club. Like that's one of the greatest
Yeah.
movies of all time.
Okay.
For me. And so this one's like up there, 9 out of 10.
Right.
I don't know what the other 4 would be. It might be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. So it's iconic for you, and because is this the quintessential mob movie for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Probably better than The Godfather, I think.
Wow, that's a hot.
But
take.
don't be afraid to put it in the 10, man.
Well,
Don't be afraid to give it a 10
I don't
out
think,
of 10.
I don't think he's afraid. I think it's not as good as Fight Club, right? To you.
Right.
And so 10 would be.
I'm
Fight
leaving
Club.
room for other movies. Like the Batman that just came out. Like, holy fuck. Like,
It's
that's up there.
amazing.
Like, it's hard not to put that
It's so good.
as high as it was.
I know. We
The
can talk
Batmans?
about that another
Oh,
time.
yeah.
The Batmans.
Oh man.
Batman.
Liam Neeson's, but he's not there. But
Liam Neeson's taking the Batman.
yeah. But yeah, it's really good.
Man, we should definitely watch that because I think my take on the Batman is going to be pretty
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Peter hates most good movies.
I hate
will
most Marvel and DC. I feel like DC is a step slightly above Marvel.
Yes.
Marvel is absolute garbage.
Yeah. It has become that, yeah.
It's
Dude,
maybe
I-
like
you're
any
just
Marvel
wrong.
movie
You're
I've
so
seen is like a
wrong.
3 max.
You're
3 out
completely
of 10
just
max.
wrong.
DC is like a 4.
Dude,
if it's
DC
trying
is
hard.
way worse than Marvel by far. Only Robert Pattinson's Batman is better, and maybe the Joker. Actually, definitely the Joker. The Joker and the Batman. The Batman's the Joker's Both those movies are way better.
I did like the Joker, honestly.
Okay.
I liked it.
That
I
was
would give
good.
the Joker, probably a 7.
See, the thing about
Yeah.
the DC movies is you can really root them into reality and make them really dark and gritty,
Yeah.
which is what's cool. Like the Batman is basically a crime thriller.
Yeah.
Joker is like a psychological thriller. In a
Right.
way.
Yeah.
But
And
all them-
WandaVision bends reality to make it look like a 1950s show. Ian, what is your point? WandaVision is real. WandaVision is real.
if it weren't for the lore,
very
if it weren't for
realistic.
the stories that have been intertwined
Yeah.
and how they just keep putting everything together, I probably wouldn't be as into
That's
it.
actually what I told Peter in a previous podcast, is that the intertwined stories is what makes it really cool.
Yeah, like I didn't give a shit until
I don't.
Avengers, really.
Yeah.
I didn't care about Captain America. I didn't care about Iron
That's
Man, Thor. I was like, these movies suck.
We'll let bygones.
But then when
be
Avengers
bygones.
came out and it was like, oh, they're all tied together and here's like this
Yeah.
big story. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
We'll let bygones be bygones. I completely disagree, but we'll
That's
let
fine.
bygones be bygones.
Yeah. It's no bias.
I think people that like Marvel and connect with Marvel they just haven't matured in life.
Yeah.
Like they're stunted in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had either maybe like some sort of early childhood trauma, or like
Where they only eat chicken
no
nuggets?
meaningful
Are you
figure.
talking about where they
no
only eat
meaningful,
chicken nuggets?
And mac and cheese.
Where they only eat mac and cheese and chicken nuggets?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all they can
that
eat.
right there gives you a Jesus Pete.
Okay, so you're rating so Ian's rating it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair.
What about you, Peter?
Okay. Yeah, Peter.
What
Ooh,
about you, Peter?
No.
yeah, it's like looking at Colin. What about you, Peter? I
All
like
right.
that.
What are you about?
All right, Keeter.
I would probably honestly give it a. I feel like it's probably an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
It's solid. Like
Good one.
It's really good. I liked it. I tracked with it. I felt like it was meaningful. I liked certain shots. The story was good. I liked that it was based on like some sort of real event. I felt like there was a couple of like maybe like long-winded scenes and things like that, but ultimately I liked it. Good mob movie. I'm a fan. I didn't really have many complaints. I thought it was dramatic when it needed to be and entertaining. So, yeah, I was thoroughly impressed, and I'd probably watch it again. And if somebody wanted to watch a mob movie, I'd be like, dude, Goodfellas, let's watch it at like 1.0 speed.
Yeah.
Because
At one speed.
Yeah.
1.26 is good, but I could probably get maybe some of the drama at 1.0 a little bit
Yeah.
better.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked it. I have the same critique, like the helicopter scene is like, hey, kind of what's going on here? It's a little bit
I
long.
actually like that.
But I again, I'm still kind of like, I kind of get the paranoid phase. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for narration,
Yeah.
I don't always like it, but when it's done well, like it was here with like both the main character Henry and his wife, I thought that was kind of unique and cool, and that bumped it up from a 7 to an 8.
Right.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So I am going to take probably the lowest grade here. I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
That's
It's
fair.
It's just because it's like a really good movie. I think Scorsese has done better movies.
Called.
Yeah.
Called what?
Called
Name another one.
I think he's done Wolf of Wall Street, which won Best Picture.
It did not win Best Picture.
It won Leonardo DiCaprio's first Best
He did
Actor
not.
award.
No,
Yes, he
not.
did.
Nope.
He didn't win anything
didn't
until
win anything for that.
He got nominated.
The movie with the bear.
He
He
did get nominated.
He did get nominated. He didn't win.
Doesn't matter.
It does.
Fought his demons.
He fought his demons.
He-
So anyway,
And I would also argue that
Mean
Wolf of Wall
Street's
Street.
Taxi Driver. Mean Street's
Okay, see,
Taxi
there you go.
Driver.
There you go.
Wolf
Taxi
of Wall
Driver's
Street.
killer, man. That's
Exactly.
a great movie.
So I
Good
think
one.
Scorsese has done better movies. But I still think it's like a good movie. I think, to me, okay, it is a 7. It's a really good movie.
Can you name another Martin Scorsese movie?
So other than Mean Streets and other than Taxi Driver, other than Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
other than The Irishman,
Sure.
other than The Departed,
You think he directed that one?
yeah, I know he did.
Okay.
And then
Raging Bull.
and Raging Bull, beautiful film that I have not seen yet.
I've actually not seen that one yet.
And
Me neither.
but I will see it. But okay, so another thing to add, Martin Scorsese.
Wait, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
He did direct Captain America: Winter Soldier. I met him personally. He gave me a kiss on the cheek, and when he greeted me, he said, "My name is Martin," and it was awesome.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah. Slumdog Millionaire is definitely 9 out of 10 for me on Martin Scorsese's
Quintessential.
list. Quintessential. It needs to be part of Martin Scorsese's collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all those are great Martin Scorsese films. But I will say that I think this is really good. It's a 5 out of 10 without these factors. So the things that bump me up to 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Were the fact that at the end he's living a normal life, and he's like, I'm so bored, and so the volatility of mob life, while it's dysfunctional and horrific and it leaves lasting scars on your life, is something that people are addicted to.
That's one point.
And then when they have a peaceful transition where they're like, I'm at peace, they are upset that they're just not at war. And
That's
that their
point.
life is not turned upside down. And I think that's a really interesting concept to explore. And I'm glad Mr. Scorsese did that. He also did that animated film that did pretty well. But
Benjamin Button.
Turning Red.
definitely not Turning Red or Benjamin Button. But and
Bug's Life.
He did Ants too. I'm just kidding.
He's so good. You know what?
Bug's Life is great.
That would be a great concept for for one of your episodes.
All Bug's Life
Would be
Bug's Life season.
one season of Bug's Life.
Different guests.
choose that or choose a movie and see what it would be like if another director made it. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So like Bug's Life if Martin Scorsese directed it.
Well, typically, I think the thing that we like to do is find plot holes and just try to explain them away like they're not plot holes.
that's a
And I
good
think
one too.
That's
Yeah,
kind of
I
fun.
like that idea.
So there's that, and then the fact that everybody starts getting shot as soon as like any minor disrespect happens or any minor slight, even if it's not a slight. If I don't feel good about what you said, I'm pulling out my pistol and shooting you.
Yeah.
So, like for example, if you like even give me a glance that I didn't appreciate, like I just happened to look your way and then you happen to look my way, and I didn't like the way you blinked your eyes at me, I'm shooting you. That bumps me up to a 7.
I hurt when Spider died.
Spider, that was painful because
That really hurt.
people
man.
with the name Spider on our podcast have
Yeah.
a very close, near and dear
They do.
part to us. Especially in School of Rock when Spider was there. But
Yeah, when he was hitting on
Principal Trunchable. Principal Mullins.
yes, Trunchable Mullins.
So it's a 7 out of 10 for me.
That's fair.
I like it. I really do like it.
Yeah.
I think he does better movies, even though I like this movie.
yeah.
That's why it's 93 out of 100.
Of all the movies ever made.
Yeah, Raging Bull.
93.
Yeah, 93 of all the movies. But like Scorsese has Raging Bull. He has, I think, Deer Hunter and other things that are higher.
Yeah.
But I like it. It's a good movie. 7 out of 10.
That's fair. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. All right, so this next section right here, this is the part of the podcast where we describe our feelings in the movie, but we each can only say one word. We have to go around in a circle, okay? So I will start, and then we'll go in a clockwise fashion. We have to come up with complete sentences, only one word apiece. We have to give our thoughts on the movie as a whole, okay? So,
I thought we just did that.
no, you're thinking about the part that we cut. Okay,
Just cut everything we just made.
We
you don't repeat mine, you ignoramus. Fucking we
take.
take? What are we fucking
Come
heisters?
on, why don't you be smart and keep going?
We
Take
Many.
opinions
as
They.
come
to
Us.
however
sometimes
We.
believe
they
Don't.
have
a lot
Of.
opinions
to
Give.
us
when
We.
think
a lot
Therefore.
we
take
where's the substance, Lord Almighty? Where's the fucking substance?
Ian broke it off.
All right, let's go again. All right, we're trying to talk about our opinions of the movie Goodfellas. All right, our opinions on the follow. Okay, all right, here we go. We
Think
That.
the
gangsters
In.
Goodfellas
sometimes
Don't.
treat
their
Friends.
nicely
and
When.
gangsters
get
Mad.
they
hurt
Each.
other
wives. So that's how I think we feel about this movie.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What even?
Well, we got to end it there.
All right.
All right.
That's an hour and 4.
Cool.
Except for the part that we end up
we got
cutting
at
out,
least 4
you know.
minutes that we're gonna cut out.
Yeah, we'll cut out 4. Have to cut this section
You
too.
can cut- you can
That-
just
that
cut it.
too.
You just cut it where you said.
All right.
That's it.
I'm gonna mulligan this one. See you in the next one.